Then we move into the next fight. This one is Felice, the little bulldog Herrig. She's ranked number 15 in the UFC right now at 115 pounds versus Virna Jandiroba. This one's going to be pretty exciting as well. Felice Herrig, she's an American. She's 14-8. She is 35 years old. She's 5 feet 4 inches tall, and she's 5-3 in the UFC. But she is currently on a 2-fight losing streak. One of them was a decision loss to Michelle Waterson. The other one was a split decision loss to Carolina. She also has notable wins over Courtney Casey and Kaylin Curran. She's going against Virna, who's a Brazilian. She's 15-1, 32 years old, 5 feet 3 inches tall, and 1-1 in the UFC. She's coming off of a second round submission win over Mallory Martin. What do you think about these girls?
Yeah. So Virna, you said she's 15-1.
Yes.
12 of those 15 wins have all come by submission.
Submission, yes.
And she is a BJJ black belt.
Yes.
As you see a lot of times with a lot of the Brazilians currently in the UFC, most of them will have their black belt by the time they're there. She has some okay boxing, not like a lot of volume essentially there, but her ground game is definitely where she wants to be.
Yeah.
The only thing that I saw with her is that a person with offensive wrestling can beat her. We saw that with Carla Esparza.
Yes.
Esparza was first to get the takedowns, and when she was getting her takedowns, she was getting on top and controlling and was able to negate all of Virna's submission attempts.
The way that she was able to control her is she did a really good job of keeping Virna's back flat to the mat.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't allow Virna to kind of work for angles and positions like that. And that was where she was able to really shut her down.
Yeah.
That was Carla Esparza's advantage in that fight. But that was still a fun fight to watch as far as the grappling exchanges back and forth. Virna was able to threaten with some things, and there were some spots where she looked like she was about to take a dominant position. But Esparza just overall was too dominant with the wrestling.
Too strong, too.
Yeah.
So, then you come in and you have a girl like Felice.
Yeah.
She's a professional kickboxer before she got into MMA.
Yep.
So her whole thing is the stand-up, and her nickname fits her well. She's a little pit bull when she gets in that cage and fights, man. The only thing is, she does have a purple belt in BJJ now.
Yes.
So she's becoming pretty well-rounded herself. But she I think, if she can keep it standing, I think she'll have a very good chance to win, because Virna's stand-up is not near the quality of Felice. The problem is I don't know that that's going to happen.
Felice has a little bit of a tendency. She also takes these fights to the ground herself.
Exactly.
But you have to think, she's lost 3 times in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the girls that she's lost to, Michelle Waterson. Michelle Waterson's a former Invicta champion. She's a title, top 5, top 10 girl. She sticks right around there somewhere. And then Carolina actually fought for a title as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not fighting, bottom-end girls. She spent a lot of time in the UFC fighting the top girls, and she actually came in with the top girls, the girls that are the top girls.
Through the Ultimate Fighter
Ultimate Fighter series. So the experience factor, I definitely think you would have to give to Felice Herrig. Mm-hmm. Like you said, she's got the Muay Thai and the striking and the kickboxing. She's 23-5 in kickboxing. She's the IKF United States Muay Thai champion and the 2-time IKF Open Tournament champion. She's also competed in Invicta and Bellator. You talked about the purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Most of her wins do come by decision.
Yeah, and it's funny though. She may be this great stand-up fighter, right?
Yeah.
She only just finished 1 fight by knockout in MMA.
She's only finished 1 by
knockout. She has 4 submission wins.
4 submission wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the striking, she has the edge in the striking. She's not somebody, but you see that a lot with a lot of the smaller girls. There's not a lot of knockout power there. Mm-hmm. You see it with the smaller guys as well. Like, they talk about 125, 135. They're not really knocking a ton of people out unless you're Figueiredo, and then you're knocking everybody dead. But there's not a lot of knockouts in those lower weight classes, so you do tend to get more decisions. And the way that Herrig wins is by being that little bulldog, outstriking them, getting right in their face, and putting so much pressure on them on the feet that they can't do anything.
Yeah.
She also does a pretty good job of controlling it up against the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if she's going to win this fight, that's where she needs to control. She needs to control the striking, and she needs to control the cage.
Similar to what we saw with Yana last week.
Yeah, yeah, but she does need to be careful though, because with Virna and her jiu-jitsu background, you pressure her up against the cage, she can start climbing up the cage and pulling guard.
Yeah, it's similar to what we
And
saw with Yulia in that
yeah,
Yana fight. You know,
Yep.
it's going to be a very identical match,
Yeah.
I think.
yeah. The only difference here though, Virna does have some judo.
She does have
So
judo.
with Felice pressuring in, she may set up herself up to get thrown to her back. You have to be careful pressuring in against a judo person. Virna is a former Invicta champion. She did successfully defend it one time, but ultimately I have Felice Herrig winning by decision.
Yeah, so with me, I don't see anybody getting finished in this fight.
Yeah,
Felice, all 8 of her losses have come by decision. So that I think that's important to note too.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying she can't be finished. I think, she's a pit bull in there and it's hard to finish her, whether it's on the ground or the feet. But I do think that this fight will get taken down, and I do think that Virna's going to control the majority of the ground game when it gets down there. And I have Virna winning a decision.
So you have Virna winning a decision. You think that she'll be able to get her to the ground fast then?
I think she's going to get it down enough to win 2 rounds.
All right. So she's got to be able to get her down for at least 2.5 minutes. Well, depending on the damage she does down there.
That, and then the refs, and depending on how she looks on her feet too.
That is true.
I mean, there's a lot of factors that can play into this.
She's not very good on her feet, so I have no faith in her feet.
Yeah, I don't have faith in her feet either.
Yeah.
I think she's going to wing it, get in there, get the takedown, and just try to tap her out, but she's not going to be successful doing it.
We'll see what happens there.